So hello everyone, this vlog. First of all, before moving for my interview experience, my personal interview experience, first of all, let us understand the eligibility criteria of Spicejet Airlines ground staff interview. So first of all, you need to understand the education qualification in every ground staff interview, that graduation is must. So you have to be graduated if you really want to aspire to join this industry, especially in the ground staff sector, and that is one of the most most important criteria in the education qualification. The second thing is that you need certain aspects, that is about your pleasing personality, your communication skills. And in the communication skills, many of the people inquired about the language. So I also need to stress this point that English is mandatory. Your spoken English, your speaking skills in English has to be very fluent, because they observed your speaking skills in English. So the interview, the procedure will be in the language that is English. So that you have to keep in your mind. That is very important. Moving forward, it's also about dress code, that formal for guys or girls, formal dress, formal attire is very mandatory. Candidates wearing casuals are not entertained and will not be entertained. I say in my every vlog that you have to be presentable whenever you are going for your interview or your open day. So you have to make sure of it that your attire has to be neat and clean, and that should be formal. So you have to make sure about this as well. And as well as regarding the documents, you have to understand that you must have your Aadhaar card, PAN card, passport, your graduation, all semesters, mark sheets, class 10th mark sheet, class 12 mark sheet, everything in a Xerox copy, so that they ask you in the time of the interview. So that has to be important. That has to be keep in your mind, that your documents should be ready for the time of your interview, and that is very must. So I hope so you have got the criteria about the education qualification as well as the documents. So moving forward with the rounds in Spicejet Airlines ground staff interview. So moving forward for the positions which you can apply for in the Spicejet ground staff interviews. So they are your trainee security executive and your security executive. The other one is your customer service executive and your senior customer service executive. These are the positions for your freshers as well as for your experience. The freshers for the security department, they go for the position in the trainee security executive. It goes hand in hand in the customer service executive for the freshers. And on the other hand, those who are experienced, they go for your security executive and your senior customer service executive. That you have to make sure in your mind. These positions are applied for your freshers as well for your experience. So anyone can apply, those who are eligible for the criteria that I have mentioned in the list. So you have understood about the criteria, you have understood about the positions they are hiring for, and now we are going to understand my personal experience as well as the rounds which are going to happen in the interview process. So we are going to understand this in a brief manner. So the thing is that one of the most good thing about Spicejet Airlines interview is that there is no registration, guys. So you can just take a relief in this fact, in this thing, that you don't have to do any kind of registration, but understand the date, the time, the venue in an accurate thing, so that you go into the right place and on the right time, and in the everything, it should be sorted out. That you have to be very must, otherwise registration is not there in Spicejet interviews. So the other best part is that it has a first come first serve basis. Means when you go on spot in the registration, the walk-in thing, you will be getting a slip or a registration chart, and each and every candidate has to write their name according to the serial number, and according to that serial number you'll be called upon for the interview process. And that is one of the best part about Spicejet interview, which I have observed or which I have found, because it is one of the most basic thing that those who are punctual, those who are on time, they get the opportunity to express themselves out in the interview in a proper manner. And that is one of the best part about rewarding for your punctuality. And you have to be punctual for sure, guys, in any of the interview for this thing. So you have got this idea about the registration thing as well. And now we are going to for the rounds. So let's understand the rounds about Spicejet interview. Basically, in Spicejet interview rounds, there are two rounds. The first round is your group introduction round, and your second round is your HR round or your personal interview round. So first of all, let's discuss about the first round, that is your group introduction round. So in group introduction, according to your serial number that you have registered on spot, you will be summoned in total 15 or 10. In that group you have to express yourself, your introduction. And one of the most unique thing about Spicejet interview rounds are that you'll be not allowed to sit and express yourself in likewise in other interviews of other companies. You'll be you'll be uh, you'll be told to form a semicircle, and one by one you have to introduce yourself in front of the HR. And why this is because they also want to observe your body language when you are communicating with them, as well as your communication skills and your overall personality and your presentation. And that is one of the most basic things. So guys, whenever you are there for your Spicejet interview, you have to also make sure of it that you should maintain a good posture when you are expressing yourself in front of the HR. So that is the first round. And from the first round, likewise 3 to 4 people are selected from each and every group, or either none of the all the group get rejected. So that is up to your presentation, up to your skills, up to your attributes. That is up to you guys. So I hope so you should make a proper introduction that express yourself and about you, who you are, not written in that CV, because everything has been written in your resume, but about yourself, about who you are, and express yourself with confidence and with eye contact. So moving on with the second round, and if you get from the first round, you will be given a slip. In that slip you have to write your name, your details like your address, your email ID, your documents that you have to keep it with yourself. And that documents also need to be stapled, and that documents they will be asked you in the time of your second round, that is your personal interview round. And with that documents you have to submit to one of the coordinators, the which is being there in the grooming hall. And then after the time comes for your personal interview round or your HR round, and in the time of the HR round, the HR asks you various questions. And when we were there in the interview in the HR round or your personal interview round, not one HR, but there can be three HRs as well. So you have to be very 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 prepared in the time, because you need to introduce each one of them, you need to have eye contact with each one of them, and that's very 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 important. And one of the most basic thing is that they can ask you different kind of questions to test you how you are you mentally prepared or not to join the company, and make sure of it that your honesty will take you further in that company as well. So you have to be very very honest about your conditions, as well as about you, who you are. So make sure of it about that. Otherwise, whatever the questions comes, if you are honest enough, if you are confident enough, and if you have that potential, you will get through from the personal interview round as well. And after that, if you get selected, they will have a form in front of them, they will just fill it up and they will give to the coordinator, and the coordinator will guide you to one of the HR, and the HR will just guide you about the role the position, as well as about the upcoming medicals that you have to go further for that position. And he or she will inform you that by 3 to 4 days or might be 1 week you'll be informed or called for your medicals as well as for your offer letter. As in our time what has been happened is that we had got the offer letter first and then after the medicals. So basically we have been summoned to one of the reputed airport, and then after we were being given the offer letter. And in the offer letter you get all the perks, your salary structure, the terms and conditions, everything, and you have to go through it, and you have to also express yourself that what you have to understand more about the company or the role and designation. And then after there you have your medicals, and yes, then after you go for your training period, and then after you get your dream job. So basically one more thing I need to tell you all guys, that in Spicejet there is also one thing about the security deposit that you have to pay while or before the training. So I cannot say the amount or anything about here in the video because it's confidential matter, but I just want to inform you that there is a security deposit that you have to pay in the time of your selection or in the time of your training period. So make sure of it while you are going for the interview, that there is a security deposit as well that you have to pay. So I hope so this all insights have really helped you all for this upcoming interviews of Spicejet AOCS or ground